How is everyone doing today? Are we getting ready to paint? My name's Cinnamon Cooney. I am your art Sherpa, and in a short little bit of time, I'm going to guide you through this fabulous, relaxing, wonderful orchid to bring peace into your life and a little fun art as well. I really love it. There's a whole fun story behind this. I actually created this at a craft show that I was invited to, where I had done some outdoor installation art. And I had to sit out there in a booth all day, and somebody had put an orchid on my table. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm looking at this thing. And so then I painted it, and then my mother-in-law stole it. This is before John claimed all paintings. Mm-hmm. And now you get to paint it. She doesn't know. We actually just broke into her house and took it out of the bathroom. And then we're going to return it. So if she doesn't watch this, then she'll have no idea that we all did this. It's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. We're being kind of sneaky. I'm going to put this over on here. Okay. This is all done with acrylic paint and regular acrylic materials. How's everybody in the live show?
Oh my gosh, it's so full out here.
Is it so full out
all
here?
Of our friends are out here, and I know I have some of my friends lurking who are joining us today.
Lurkers?
Uh-huh.
Hi, lurkers.
Jay's out there lurking.
Hi,
I think
Jay.
Jason's out there. Oh, look, I see
Jason.
animated pencil.
Not himself.
I see Janie. I see Flame. I see there. Oh my gosh, it's going by so fast today. We have all of our moderators in the room. I see Shay.
I have to say I love our chat. I've been peering in on some other chats around the YouTube, and our chat cooks like a gaming channel. I mean, except without the ugliness in it, you know. But the speed of it, you guys are just connecting with each other, and I think that's really cool. I think the meetups that are being arranged are really cool. I think all the stuff y'all are doing is pretty amazing. Are you amazed with yourselves? You should be.
Am.
I'm going to get another one of those. Cool. 6 minutes and she's still not painting.
And Imp has got a special request here for a wish that we're going to sneak in there.
So okay. Because we wished up this canvas.
Yeah, we did. But I see that she's got one there and we're going to grab that one and get that in there. So
okay.
Just so that she knows.
All right. Well, if you don't know, we like to put wishes, gratitudes, and intentions on our canvas before we paint over them. It is something that really, really I've done in my studio a long, long time. Actually, my mom also does this too. And it just really helps us keep our focus and intention on the things that we want to have in our lives, the things we want to activate. And sometimes that's the little life raft that you're clinging to in your life. It certainly is in mine.
Yeah.
And so on that note, I would like to dedicate this painting. I'm not going to say who it was, but she'll know who she is by what I'm about to say. I was sent an email and a letter by a woman, and her story was so inspiring, and I was so impressed and so honored that she shared her story with me that I really want to dedicate this painting to her and all people who are in, a battle with something in their lives. Perhaps it's sobriety, perhaps it's pain or wellness, and are somehow finding a way to connect with something bigger and better than themselves. I so admire that. I know what that struggle is like, and so this painting is dedicated to all of you.
Yeah, thank you.
And she knows who she is right now. She's like, I know who I am.
I had me crying this morning, so.
We wrote a bunch of wishes in here, but I write them very lightly in watercolor pencil, and that's also how I sketch in this on Facebook. And then after the upload, in the description below will be a link to a traceable. Look, art is a lot of skills. One of them is drawing. Drawing is not the definitive skill in art. I'm sure a lot of you in your life heard from an art teacher that your talent was based on your ability to draw. And bless your art teacher, they were so wrong. You could not be more misinformed. I know I'm going to get a bunch of grief over that, but that's really the truth in art. There's a lot of tremendous artists who are extraordinary and uplifting, and drawing was not their primary skill. So obviously that's a thing that happens to people along the way that isn't even true. And how many things do we have like that in our lives?
Yeah.
How many things that are told to us? So I'm going to let you guys know who the wishes are for. We have one for Wendy, right? And her sister, Annette. We want to wish them heart health. Lori, we're wanting to wish her son well-being. Just send well-being to Lori's son. And then we have another son of Carrie's. And I would like to really put into the world, if we could all just be a little more embracing and understanding of autism, that would be amazing. And I wish that for her son, that he grows up in a world where this is really understood and embraced. And he's celebrated, I don't know, this makes me, I have a lot of girlfriends to go through this, for the unique, beautiful being that he is.
Yeah.
We've got a private wish to close an estate. I'm with you there. a wish for a baby by another member. And I didn't know if that was private, so I'm not going to mention her name. And Lisa would like to breathe easily.
If we can squeeze one more in there.
Then I'm going to put that one you just said in.
Yeah, for Imp. Her son was in an accident. And
for who?
For Imp. IMP.
All right.
IMP Mulcahy. She's with us a lot.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm
her
actually
son.
going to write this down here. She gets two names in the canvas.
Yeah.
Imp.
Yeah, her son was in an accident and had a lot of damage to his legs. So
we're going to wish for his healing.
Yeah, and we have a happy birthday to Little Brush Theslia, who turns 72 today.
Happy birthday, Little Brush.
7/9/16. Wow.
Wow. Girl, you are right on my side. I love it. Being like Miss Beatrice Woods. Yep. You just rock it. And listen, I'm going to add a new thing. We're going to do a gratitude. I just think of something that you're grateful for. I am super grateful for my community, so that's what I'm going to write my gratitude in.
Yeah. I'm very thankful for you guys. It makes it so much more fun to be here. And there's over 210 people here with us, and it's wonderful to see you guys here, and
it's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah.
Now, I vacillated over pulling this out as a separate drawing lesson. Of course, we've got the traceable. I'm going to just show you a couple points of drawing this piece in. Okay. So hopefully John can get up here. I'm going to be in this lower right initially, John.
I'll zoom over there in just a second.
The first thing is if you imagine that your canvas isn't divided to thirds, just below your lower thirds line, if you could make a horizon line, this is the little demarcation of the pretend table based on the real table, which was not as pretty, that my orchid was sitting on. So that's how that happens. Sometimes you're just sitting at a craft fair and you got a lot of time on your hands. Those of you that travel and do that, you're like, yep. Totally know what that's like. I'm going to give you something that's one of my favorite things. It's about an inch and a half above my demarcation line, my horizon line here. I'm going to make a dot an inch away from the edge of my 20 by 20 and another dot maybe about 6 inches over here. Mm-hmm. And then in the middle, I'm going to go between the middle of these two lines. I'm going to go up like a quarter of an inch and then down a quarter of an inch. So there's almost like a half inch between them. And I'm going to take a tip back to somebody we used to know, Captain Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Secret City. We're going to do a foreshortened circle. This ellipse really eludes everybody sometimes, and those 4 dots can really help. I'm going to come down an inch and an inch, and I'm going to make a parallel curve line. Then I'm going to come inside my pot a little bit and curve down at a slight angle, curving down at a slight angle, and then just make another curve line. And these lines should all be fairly parallel to each other. Yeah. They don't have to be perfect. They can be. If that's like your secret sauce in life is perfection, It's all good. It's not a problem. The other little line, I think I'm really comfortable just painting around on the background today.
Yeah.
Doing kind of something different. So I'm going to curve my stem up, and I'm going to curve it back down and then back up. So see how that's that nice orchidy stem?
Yeah.
It's about, like a little more than a hand from the middle. And I'm going to show you how I draw in an orchid real quick.
Okay.
So above this line, I'm going to come up, about an inch. And I'm going to make a little leaf shape.
It's real hard to see that.
Is it? Another little leaf shape? Well, we may have to leave this to the traceable. Above leaf shape.
I think it's just that happens to be that the angle of the canvas, if you could, is just catching the light badly, is all that it is. Oh, see, it's a little easier to see it there.
All right. Is that better?
A little bit.
And then I'm just going to make this up here. See how I made that orchid? So if I were to make its friend peeking out, he would come out here. He's layered. Sometimes in art, I just want to share this idea with you. Layering object is what implies depth. I'm going to tuck another one back here to create some more depth and a couple foreshortened leaves. And then I'm going to come down here, making a couple more peeking out leaves. Now, for a lot of you, this is just a real sketch in. But again, if you're not yet a drawer, as like Simon would say, if you're not yet drawing, don't even worry about that. I just want to just briefly talk to you about that space, and I'm going to, doing my leaves, and then I'm going to paint the background in. But drawing, again, just a skill. So traceable is there, and sometimes you can look at the traceable. You can pull that out and open that up in your screen or on your phone or on another device, and that can help you do it. I really try to simplify those drawings so that you can really see what's happening. Now, I'm going to do a fun leaf. I like that orchids have a broad leaf, so I'm going to bring this up, and then I'm going to curve a slide down.
So, Little Brush Raven wanted to say hello to you.
Hi, Raven. How are you doing?
She's been jumping up and down going, say hello, say hello, say hello.
Hi, Raven. How are you?
We're very happy to see you here again, Raven.
Very happy to see you here today. Today is kind of, Raven, I'm so glad you're joining us. Do you like to paint flowers? I really like to paint flowers. Today is kind of just a fun, relaxing day. I'm going to paint this little friend leaf that's a little smaller but does a similar slide. And then a little guy peeking out. Orchid leaves kind of are layered on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they're either broad and flat with this nice green divide in the center, which is sort of fun to paint, or they're sort of folded up, which is this guy over here, where he goes off the canvas. Then he's got another little friend who got a little folded, is off the canvas. And then this little guy comes off here. And that is really all it takes. You know, we have a little squiggles, but we don't need to worry about those until later, and a little shadow. But that's the basis of what we're putting in. We're going to put in our background. Let's talk about our materials. Our materials are always in the description below. Always.
We always have them.
Sometimes it's hard to find the description below, and I feel you, so I'm going to tell you what they are right now, too.
Mm-hmm.
So today, right, I have phthalo blue, quinacridone magenta, burnt sienna, cad yellow, yellow ochre, sometimes called yellow oxide, 2 plops of titanium white, optional cadmium red. You can get hue if you're concerned at all about cadmium. Plus, it saves you a bunch of money. Phthalo green and Mars black. And right here, I have some my Grumbacher acrylic retarder because it's so hot in my studio. And also, I am using this today. Can the thing see this? All right.
We can zoom in on that.
Okay. So, pitting is a problem. And this really helps prevent my canvas from pitting.
Don't wiggle it so I can focus on it. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So I add a titch of this to my water until it breaks the surface tension of the water. I'm going to actually do a whole video about this. And I just put a little bit on my canvas before I paint. And it actually causes the surface tension to paint. And there's a little bit of the water mixture in my water. And that, you know, that weird, like, you're getting all those white dots. I've been experimenting for this for a while. And this seems to be a solution.
Really?
So I'm really loving that. And of course, my favorite blender, this one right here. It is like putting grease lightning on your brush.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how little drag I get. It just trips me out. I love it so much. I made my mom buy 2. I was like, you got to go get this. It's really good. And she's like, blenders. I'm like, yeah. Try this out. So we're going to be hearing from her on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
She's coming on her day off.
That's crazy.
I'm so excited about that. All right, I'm getting my brush a little moist. I'm going to get into my phthalo blue. And look at how I'm coming from the outside of my paint plop. And I'm going to add a little black into it. This almost makes it a Payne's gray. All right. And I'm going to come from the upper right and these sort of up-down brush strokes. And I'm going to just paint that in. All right. Little Mars black, little phthalo blue, maybe even a little white. Go crazy. You can add some of this gel to it if you just want crazy, crazy speed. Now, what the gel's going to do for me in my studio, because I'm quite dry and hot in here, is it's going to slow down the drying time on my paint and improve the brushability.
Improve the brushability?
Yeah, and now a lot of things like to say this.
What does that mean?
It means that it's like putting grease lightning on my brush. It's so nice. I really enjoy it.
Okay, so how much flow aid to water do you add?
Okay,
so
I'm going to make a whole video about this, but right now, Golden has the best website on it that demos it because it's a teeny tiny amount. It's like a thimbleful to a cup of water. It takes very little, and if you go bananas with it, it'll mess up your painting. I wouldn't talk to you about it, though, if it wasn't worth using for some of the canvas issues we've been having, which is why it's going to be its own quest and its own video. Gotcha. I might even do some stuff on Facebook about it. I'm really feeling like Water conditioning. Again, water is one of the things that can impact an artist.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to be adding a little more white to this mixture as I go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As I come around the flowers. I'm kind of like avoiding around the flowers, but besides the fact that I'm going to be doing a halo effect with them.
Yeah.
Right? Besides that fact, I just want to not get my big brush up in them. Because I'm using my big brush. It's fun to use a big brush because sometimes it makes my painting job go faster. That's really all it is. It's always just a little touch of the black.
So, my wonderful moderators out here, I have to say thank you to them because they remind me to remind you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share, which I do tend to forget to do. But seriously, do comment and like because it lets the YouTube metrics know that you're here and you like it. And please post your pictures up anywhere you can on our website, on the Facebook page. We really want to see those.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And I'd also like to remind you to breathe in and out. When I'm in a class, number one thing I see people doing is holding their breath. Are you holding your breath?
Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath.
Breathe.
Breathe. I'm going to come down here. I'm coming down here. And I'm lightening it up. Can you see how much I've added much more white to my mixture? I'm a big brush. And very, very light. I'm going to immediately switch to a number 10 here in a second.
Okay.
Just to get a little more control over the size of what I'm doing. So this is a number 10 bright. And the difference between a bright and a flat is a flat's bristles are longer and therefore softer. This is a Simply Simmons extra firm filament. And what I like about this brush, no matter where you are when you're looking for an acrylic brush, this should just be a little too uncomfortable for makeup. If it feels wonderful for makeup, it's a nice watercolor brush or soft body paint brush or student paint brush. But if you want to be using heavy-bodied paints, you need a stiffer brush.
Stiffer.
I know. The Monty Python jokester in me has so many things to laugh about that.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope everybody's really good today.
I think everybody... You know what? It's been pretty lively chatting here. We've got like over 260 people here just chatting away. I know you don't get to see all this. So they're having a really great time.
I feel like sometimes they just come and watch us paint, but really it's about them chatting.
I'm just happy to be here with the chat. So
it's just, we are supplemental to the community. I'm so privileged to be a part of their lives. It's really, really true. I had such a good time on vacation, and it really, really made me appreciate my community. Being at VidCon and then in the space.
Oh, yeah.
And meeting some of these other, much more established YouTubers.
Oh, we got acknowledged by Rhett and Link.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Well, you got acknowledged. I snuck by because I had, I don't know. Do y'all ever get embarrassed or shy? I got really embarrassed. Shy. I was like, I'm not worthy, and just kind of skipped into my own studio. John, on the other hand, he's brazen. He's like, hey.
Yeah, no, I was.
How you doing?
I was out in the hall, and I got a hey and a hi.
So I'm just adding white to this. Can you see the load on this brush?
Mm-hmm.
It's just on my tip. And that's something that can mess you up. If you're new in painting and you're struggling, I swear it's not you. You guys always think it's you, but it's never you. It is the brush, the water, the paint, or the canvas. So there's technical issues. It's not you. You're fine.
Donna asks, why don't you paint the entire undercoat in blue? Why are you painting around the flower?
Because it's one way of doing it. And also because then I could show you sketching it in. So they're both good. Those are both valid ways. My mom and I, whom you're going to be talking to on Sunday, we talk about these things. Right?
And I've noticed over the years you've talked about that you like the approach of I guess the outsider approach, or
outsider art,
and so that your techniques tend to be derived from non-traditional techniques.
Yeah,
but
I'm
fairly
trained in traditional techniques.
Yeah, so it's like while you could paint all this undercoat the same and make it even, you choose to do this interesting layering thing.
I do, because it gives it a rough, expressive feel that sometimes traditional art modalities won't do. If you think of Mom and I as a really cool 1980s dance movie, I'm the young choreographer that has a new way of doing ballet. I'm and my mom is the traditional Joffrey wanting me to do the steps. Oh, like ballroom. Strictly ballroom. That's me. I got some new steps.
No.
I did. Yeah, I did.
No, you did
He's so sick of
not.
that movie. I've watched it like a gazillion times.
No.
There is not enough like Water for Chocolate or Strictly Ballroom in my life.
Oh,
There just
man.
never will be, or A Walk Among the Clouds. There are just certain movies.
Which one was the Australian one
Element.
about the dancing?
Huh?
Which the Australian one with the dancing?
Strictly Ballroom.
Okay, that's yeah. Okay.
Strictly Ballroom.
It's a good.
Everything
movie.
you need to know about life you can learn from Uncorked and Strictly Ballroom.
What color paint are you using?
I am using titanium white and phthalo blue. This is why I get these comments. You talk too much. I'm just so sick of you. Okay.
Yes, so Kathleen wants to know if there's going to be a traceable for this.
There is a traceable. It's right now, this minute, on Facebook,
Okay.
like everywhere. And then I'm taking this light color around my leaves and creating this sort of blended out halo. Can you see how I'm feathering this out?
Yeah.
And this is very light, and it's the stiff brush,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the fact that I have the blending gel there that has kept the paint open a little bit longer,
Mm-hmm.
even in this easy bake oven you call my art studio, because that's what I paint in, is an easy bake oven.
It's true.
It's true.
It's a fluorescent easy bake oven now.
It's a fluorescent easy bake oven, but it is an easy bake oven. If Mama Sherpa's cooking right now in more ways than one. Bam. Yeah, all the traceables currently are on Facebook. I'm going to get it up on Pinterest
Uh-huh.
as soon as I'm done with teaching this painting. So it'll be there for everyone on the replay, and including, I think, the finished painting, if the finished painting is not already there. Though, again, I think the finished painting was up on Facebook. And Instagram.
So
If you're looking for the finished painting, it was on Instagram as well. And you guys can always share things or talk to me or follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, or Facebook.
now, can you talk about what you're doing there with the white? I see you're going more and more into the white there as
Yeah,
you got
I'm
closer to
just
the bottom.
I'm just trying not to rinse off my brush too much so that there's like this dusting of pigment on it. And then I'm adding more and more white, right,
Uh-huh.
to it.
Now, are you creating a shadow implication there? Is that
It's
what you're doing?
actually naturally and organically happening. This is that happy accident our lovely Bob used to talk about, which is that sometimes if you just let the paint be, stories start to happen on their own. I'm going to paint between these two leaves,
Okay.
right? I'm going to add a little more pigment to it because you could see it would have a little more pigment. So just picked up a little bit more and just brushing it here. Can you see how little pitting I'm getting, John?
Yeah.
And that is that water softener. I swear it is. It's just tripping me out. I don't think it's good for our health. No, just kidding. I don't know. It's fine. Don't drink it. Don't breathe it in. That's really the rule in paint. Don't drink it or breathe it in. Everything else is okay. I know some of you get really concerned about the green nature of paint. And what I'll say then is if you're very, very concerned about having a very green art experience,
Mm-hmm.
I would say fine oils or watercolors
Yeah.
have more options that you have for really, truly green. They're not. None of them are cheap.
Yeah.
The greener you get, the crazy more expensive it gets. So it'll be like later, you're like, you told me to go that, and then I saw that, and it was like a gazillion dollars. I'm like, yep. So I'm just painting in. I have to put my stem back in some of my little leaves, but now I kind of know where everything is, and that's fine. And I'm just letting this nice light area, I'm feathering it out here. It's a dry brush. I'm just feathering it out, creating this halo. Right? Haloing this. You know, you guys have been asking for a slightly more involved kind of floral. So hopefully this is feeling like we're now tapping into that more involved floral space. You know, I know you guys have been loving the abstract roses and you love the simpler pieces, but on occasion it's nice to sort of stretch.
Oh. Now I know I've been watching and reading the mods and the chat out here, and I've not been chatting as much because it's been a very active, busy button pushing day today.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, so I'm not able to chat as much, but man, I've been reading it. It's been going great out there. So, you know, oh, look at that. Is that
This is my diet demon.
your diet demon?
He looks at me in a judgy way.
And tells you to drink healthy drinks.
I put my water in him, it makes me feel better. Oh, wait, you're going to show everybody? He lights up. At night, it's really helpful. Kids are super jealous. Of course, kids can eat ice cream, so they can just take it. I've got some feelings on this. I won't lie. I'm going to come put a little more white paint out.
Uh-huh.
A little more white paint, because I'm going to be going through that more heavily. This is a 20 by 20. Now, listen. Something that you can do if you buy a gallery wrap canvas. Look, a lot of canvases say they're gallery wrap because they're stapling on the back, and that is the technical definition. But if you're talking about for like gallery presentation, you got to have stretchers at least this thick.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can paint around the edges on any painting and avoid framing. But if you're going for that real gallery wrap look, you've got to go for the thicker stretcher bars.
Yeah. And that makes it look cooler.
And it does look really cool. And then you can skip framing altogether, which is great. I'm going to add a little burnt sienna to my yellow ochre, which is a little gummy today and I don't love, and a little white. And I'm going to come around and start painting this ground in. And again, I had this like really, this was artistic liberty here because of this really icky blue tablecloth that I was hating. And it was staring at me all day, annoying me.
Okay. You strong feelings about that tablecloth?
I really did. By the end of the day, I was just like, because you have what you do is you have your little art cards out,
Yep.
And your book.
And your book.
Which people sign into. And, if they buy anything, then they're signing into your book. And, you're in the weather. Art festival means art in the weather. So wind and everything. So you're tacking everything down. And then, of course, we brought the wrong stuff. So we're like... Sean was just trying to get things hung. Do you remember that day? You were just frantically trying to get things hung. It's crazy.
I was just noticing. Oops. You have to zoom over there on the...
Which direction?
Yeah, you're good there.
Am I good?
I just realized that you're using a much larger canvas than you normally use.
Yeah.
And so our
But much smaller canvas than I use in my fine art.
But it's what's interesting is that if
I'm
you look
picking up some burnt sienna to deepen this color over here. You guys should also pick up some burnt sienna and deepen this color over here.
So no, you used, what was the first color you were using?
Yellow ochre, and now I'm adding some burnt sienna into my mix.
What's the difference between burnt sienna and yellow ochre?
Sorry, what?
Well, that was asked earlier. And
okay,
I was like,
I thought you were just messing with me.
No.
Okay.
Sherpa on the spot. No, actually,
the pigments. They're both... Okay, so, all right. Here's some art class. Burnt sienna, yellow ochre, raw umber, and I think for sure those... There's one other. There's a white and a black. Carbon are the oldest pigments known to man, at least 25,000 years old in use. Burnt sienna is dirt mined from iron-rich areas. I don't remember the chemical composition of yellow ochre, but it literally is red dirt, yellow dirt, brown dirt. And then if you burn that dirt, it literally becomes burnt sienna. And get this, like French sienna is apparently way better than other sienna. So like whenever you're going along, you're like in art and you're like, I'm kind of used to a tube of sienna costing this much, but this crazy new tube is really expensive. That's because it might be sourced from a really rare
sienna mine.
Yeah, sienna mine. Just weird stuff. So whenever you paint with burnt sienna and yellow ochre, you are literally touching the hands of your ancestors who painted on caves and went...
That's cool.
It is kind of cool. I dig it.
Real quick, do me a favor. See, if you notice on that camera you're looking at, notice how the picture just pokes off. That's
pokes off where?
See on the left hand side of the canvas, you have to scoot it over for me, and that's just it's fine for right now.
Can we move something else besides me?
No, you're fine right now. Just that's
yeah. I mean, you're fine.
The new lens is just that's as much as the lens can do.
Oh, okay. All right. So we got to move the lens back.
Yeah, camera back.
All right. I'm gonna take a little of my black.
Yep.
Interestingly, my green and my burnt here. See this interesting sort of dark color. And I'm going to come from this side.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
From this left side. And I'm going to bring this in to my table.
Now, Patrick was curious while you're doing that.
Hi, Patrick. How you doing?
Do you know who Graveyard Girl is?
Sippy. I am Swamp Family for sure.
Yeah.
I adore her. I think she's one of the best creators on YouTube. I attribute to her to a lot of what I get to do on YouTube because, her just doing it her way let me realize, even though everybody told me I can't do it this way, that I should be quieter and I should speed my videos up and do fast forward and not have so much personality, and all the advice that I got wasn't necessarily true.
Yeah.
Because she does it her way. She doesn't even wear makeup sometimes, and she's a beauty vlogger.
Yep.
I love it. Sorry. Ooh, tangent. But yeah, strong feelings. I just picked up some yellow ochre, but I didn't rinse off my brush.
Okay.
Is what I did there. I didn't rinse off my brush. So I've got the green in there. I've got the brown in there. Mm-hmm. Right? I've got all these great colors in there. It's sort of fun. Sometimes it's fun to see what happens when you don't rinse the brush. That sounds like an ad for like a sitcom. See what happens when you don't wish the brush. I'm going to just come in. I'm going to pull some just burnt across here. See how I'm pulling it across?
Yeah.
Very light pressure. I'm just enjoying that. I am enjoying that. I'm going to get some green. Get a little brown and a little green. The reason I add the brown to this green is the green on its own is a bit psycho.
What?
It's so bright, and so you got to knock it back.
Ow.
Hair color, so like, yes, totally know what you mean. And this background, believe it or not, will take a couple of layers to just get that sort of painterly feel. It's not really complicated. I'm going to pull just some yellow ochre in my brush and some more white. Get this kind of quite light area, and I'm going to come here and just dry brush over the top of everything here. Just working this now interesting table, which is not a plastic blue tablecloth, staring at me for an entire day. Flapping in the wind. You're having an art festival. Really think about these things.
No, I like the blending you've done here. You've made this sort of multicolored surface.
Yeah. It just creates an artful space. Because this is my world.
Artful space. You just sort of made all this up.
Yeah. I do that a lot.
But notice it has lots of horizontalness to it.
Yeah.
Is that to imply flatness?
It's to imply flatness and a reflection of light across a smooth, flat surface.
Oh.
So that's how I'm playing it. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to rinse my brush out.
I see.
Cheeky chick that I am. Right? I'll hit a shadow there later. For right now, let's take a little of our phthalo blue over to our burnt sienna.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to make this kind of gray. Slightly green color. And go ahead and do this underpot in that color. Dun, 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 dun. This particular acrylic painting is the one where we do kind of an underpainting and then we create layers of highlights to define it. So instead of hitting an acrylic ground, we are blocking in the spaces that we're creating on and building up layers.
So,
you know me, onions are like layers, like ogres, like my paintings.
Everyone is saying really nice things about us right now. So
Are
it's being
they?
very complimentary, saying that they really appreciate everything we're doing and all of our good work. So
I was hoping you guys would like this because I was like, are we overreaching or is this a fun space to get into?
I think they're having a good time.
We're having a good time. All right, cool.
They're having a good time out here.
If you guys are having a good time,
and they reminded me to remind them to say like, subscribe, share, and comment, and do all that stuff.
Oh, so. Speaking of sharing, I don't know if she's here, but I want to thank Bon Voyage Kitty and Tara Travis. You guys have been really amazing. I noticed there were a bunch of playlists created by you guys that were really great of me and all my favorite artists. And wow, what a way to share art on YouTube.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. And then you're like, wait, she knows we made playlists? Yeah.
We were watching them.
Well, no, because you get notified of like playlists and stuff like that, and then you go check them out, and you start searching playlists. And then also there was that interesting set of playlists I was in. Some of you may have noticed.
They want to see your aprons.
Yes.
What apron are you wearing today? Oh, that's pretty cute.
Isn't this really cool?
Yeah.
Mary Engelbright.
Mary Engelbright, huh?
Queen of everything. She is the bomb. She is a rock star in art, people. You may or may not know it, but in art licensing, which is for many, many artists, like the most critical thing you could have going on to like feed yourself, she is a rock star. And she's also a husband and wife team. She makes millions of dollars a year on her art.
Interesting.
So what's not to love, right?
Wow.
So I'm just pulling this down. This is just, I've kept my brush dirty, but I've added the burnt sienna to it.
Well, I must say thank you to Diana, who just says, and says, never change! Exclamation, 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 with hearts and hearts. Please, we love you just the way you are. Billy Joel reference. Lol.
Dude, I don't even think I can. I mean, I get that advice all the time and still haven't pulled it off. I think the only thing I can do is figure out a way to just be myself, but, like maybe in a more professional manner. But
So everything Alex is asking if there's closed captioning for this video, we'll be working on that shortly afterwards.
So what happens with the closed captioning is these are entirely, all the closed captioning is, and hopefully someone can type this to Alex if Alex is not able to hear the broadcast.
Oh, Flame's already on it.
Thank you, Flame. So here's the deal on closed captioning. So all you guys we are talking to YouTube and the head of their accessibility division.
Trying to figure out how to do this.
Try to be on every possible feature, tool, accessibility, anything. Actually, we're hoping that they're going to be doing live
and
closed captioning soon, so you guys would be able to hear this live. Also, they have crowdsourced closed captioning now, and every one of my videos is enabled for closed captioning. If you are an incredibly fast typist, that is an incredible way to give back to the community and really any of your favorite YouTubers, because many of us are aware of this, and we enable our videos for closed captioning.
Yep. So, and I've still got Kurt's card right here on my desk, so he's gonna be getting a call from me. He's gonna help us with the closed captioning. He has a company who does that. So
yeah. Time for judgy diademon.
Uh-oh. Sippy, sippy demon. Make sure you only sip healthy things.
Judgy, judgy little demon. Judgy, judgy. You judge me with your judgy. I loved his judgy, judgy face. It was better than Judgment Rooster. I think I'm going to switch to a number 6 bright.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to pull out my phthalo blue and my phthalo green and kind of get those together. And I'm going to add, oh my gosh, I'm going to be crazy and add a little burnt sienna to it. And I'm going to get quite a deep, dark forest color. I mean, you can buy this. You might have this in your, current art box. And I'm going to paint in my leaves, all of them, with this wonderful dark green. What are you playing?
That's your little background music that's going right now.
That's obnoxious. Why would you... What are you up today, Mr. Cooney? Actually, that is very comforting and makes me feel like it's like 1970s TV. John is actually really into music. It's a passion of his.
Yeah, I do. I like music.
Love to know what you guys think of the music.
Mona says now she's swaying in her chair.
Music is a controversial issue. So we do try to do some without. But sometimes, John likes to be back there and deep breath in, deep breath out for those of you holding your breath at home. Who's holding their breath at home or holding their breath in life? That's what I'm wondering. Are you holding your breath in your life? Waiting to your exhale? Just hoping it all comes together? I think a lot of us are holding our breath. We're not being in our lives and breathing. There's so many things going on. I'm going to paint this little leaf here. There's so many intense things going on. You guys write me letters. I read them all. And you guys have a lot happening. Me too. I get it. I do get it. The giggling.
Yeah.
happiness.
Friend.
Those that have Skyped with us know that this is just an ongoing 24-hour day thing. Well, I'll tell you what, doing a Mom tomorrow, we're going to have the AC on. She's not going to be able to do this heat.
Oh, yeah.
She'll pass out. We barely got her. She's a hard celebrity to get.
Hmm.
Y'all are going to have so much fun. You have no idea. Mom and I get in so many heated debates about art.
So there's
I'm just adding the burnt sienna to my phthalo green to get these different tones. And I'm just trying to make sure that each leaf has kind of got a different little deep value so that they all feel like their own space a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing.
So there's some questions going on here in the chat.
I've got answers. Answers for anything, anytime. Except World Peace. Working on it. Don't know.
Well, see, Google exposed our store through the search engine.
Oh.
So some people found it, and we had to turn it off because it wasn't supposed to be found. And it's not available yet, but it will be soon. So what we'll say is very soon we'll be turning it on. We've been testing some products and goods before we wanted to let everyone just in there to buy things. We've been working on this for weeks.
Yeah.
So
well, longer than weeks.
Yeah, but it's we've tested and ordered some products. We've got some new products coming in. We want to make sure they're perfect before we turned anything on. Is all. So soon.
Soon. Did someone ask about it?
There were several questions about when's the store going to open? When's the store going to open?
It's actually pretty great, guys. Here's the things we want to make sure of.
You can just window shop.
We want to make sure everything is real quality.
Yeah.
Like that, because when we're figuring it out, all we can do is be like online and guessing.
Yeah.
So we had to take the step of actually ordering some stuff and touching it. And that actually prevented us.
We wrote a lot of sample stuff.
Yeah, from getting some stuff y'all might not have liked. I'm actually really glad we did it because
we've had some no-go product stuff that we found so far.
I'm going to add a little yellow ochre to this little spot, just so this leaf is slightly different color.
Yeah.
And I'm going to curl it down. Just curling it down. And we did. We had some no-go products that were like no. Mm-hmm. And then there was some stuff where one of the things we really wanted to make sure is that we had a good selection of sizes, that we were size inclusive. Because I hate when things are not size inclusive.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that was true. See how beautiful those are? It's deep green already. It's a fun painting.
Mm-hmm.
Comes together real fast once it does start to come together. Having some fun. Yes, I am. Now, interesting thing here, John.
Hats. They definitely want hats.
Hats are coming. I might even make some art hats and put them on Etsy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be pretty fun.
But just for fun. Just goofing around.
Yeah.
Not like all like I'm a haberdasher now. So I'm going to paint these flowers in different shades of blue, black, and white.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make sure each one is a slightly different value, and I'll show you how I do that. And that's going to help my white look really white in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this was just this really weird, hot yet cloudy day. And so I think that really impacted my color choice when I was painting this. Right? So it was funny.
They're like, we'll beta test your shirts.
Will you? Oh, thank you.
There's lots of people who are willing to beta test the shirts. So we're going to be, it's closer than you think, guys. Closer than you think.
It is. And there's some it's fun stuff. And at every price point, so everybody has something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
I think that's important.
So Shelly wants to have a shirt design contest where they design a shirt that we would do for the Sherpettes.
Dude, on.
Well, we could do that.
Yes, I will post something. Or would you guys want that just posted?
We'll post it up on the Facebook page when we're done.
I'll hit Twitter, Instagram. I'll hit it everywhere. You guys definitely. I'm into that.
That'd be fun.
Now, do we just have Shelly or do we have like some people?
Oh, no. It was pointed out to me that Shelly was the first person who brought it up.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yes. Brilliant idea, Shelly, and community.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of community, John is working on what the guys are going to be calling themselves.
Oh, that's pretty cool. There's been the Sherps, there's been Hardists, there's been the He Sherps.
That was Ian.
That was a good one. The He Sherps.
The He Sherps, because we thought that was a lot like He-Man.
Those are definitely.
But you guys have to decide, man. That's not for me to do.
I kind of like all of them.
So I'm good with all of it. Or you can just be Sherpa. You know, maybe be like, I don't care. Works for me.
But we've got aprons, and we've got shirts, and we've got hats, and we've got, what else do we have?
We have some pretty special stuff
art cards.
in the shirts.
We have art cards, and we have
art
some
cards.
special shirts.
We have a couple really special shirts. And shirts will sometimes be themed to projects. If we think that there's a project that's really meaningful to all of us, I may start custom making some shirts.
And we've got a bag out there.
Yep.
And there may be some phone stuff coming. We'll see, maybe.
We have to see if it's reliable.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they promised the moon to you.
Yeah, we're not sure the quality of some of them. You know, so you guys got to test them out.
You got to test them.
There's a lot of testing.
There's a lot of testing. Washing.
Oh, washing.
All right, I'm adding a little more white to this next mixture. I don't want it to disappear into the background.
We should get Flame to leak one of her pictures.
Yes, Flame could leak a picture.
I think she has one that would be.
She has
a
really
leakable.
cute one. Some Sherpettes have seen it.
Have they?
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Everything Alex was, what about signed brushes? I think we could just find some brushes. It would be good.
Just please go buy the brushes and a kid that doesn't mess with me. It's so stressful to look for them, isn't it?
It's hard to find them right now.
Yeah.
The art guys.
Art guys. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So see, I'm just painting this butterfly, this orchid in. Right. And this is going to help me when I go to define it. It just helps me have that space. Now I'm going to do an interesting thing here. Watch, I'm going to grab some white. And then I'm just going to make sure that there's just some defined space there. There's a petal here, peeking out. Being a peeky petal. Fun stuff. A little more white, a little more blue. But again, I don't want it to disappear into the background. And we'll paint this orchid in as well. And then that one. And then that's the orchids. Then we've just got stems. It's just a nice painting. Right? You think about where I was at when I did it. I was just trying to, have a nice pleasant day. Get this little orchid dancing in the little breezes. It was just so funny. It was this weird table, this kind of chinky table. And then plop, an orchid. They just plopped an orchid down.
Oh, wow. Hey, they just put it out. We got over 310 people here.
Hello, 310 people.
It's like, I'm so busy jumping back and forth for chats and things. So it's like,
yeah.
Sometimes I forget to look over at the numbers. I don't know if you
can show this on the camera. I just want to show everybody this. When I've got to do a weird skinny little leaf, I take it on the edge and I do a flick.
Oh, neat.
Right? And then I'm going to take this up here. That's something that I do. That's why I like these brights to have a very firm bristle, because it allows me to do that. All this underpainting, I just need to know that these are different things. That's all I'm trying to define, is that they're different things. Everything is the magic when I come back and do it. Everything's in the magic when I come back and do it.
There's many Sparta 300 jokes being made right now. We are Sherpa.
Oh, I would do some Sparta shirts for sure. That's pretty funny. You guys you guys don't.
We're a very dorky crowd.
Yeah, good. May we stay that way forever.
It's awesome.
May we stay fans and dorky and goofy forever.
So
that's lovely, and that's in. I like that. I like that, Mr. Cooney.
I know I can say this. Miss Fitzpatrick would like to know, does Cinnamon have a favorite painting?
In the world?
I don't. Well, it was
or
not
of
described.
my own.
Well, let's just start with your own.
Of my own.
Which one do you like the best?
Probably right now, depth or random. But that's in my or from Heart Part. From this?
Yeah.
From what I do online on YouTube. The Red Riding Hood coming up, I'm really fond of, but right now I think it's Hope's Swing. Yeah. It's just my personal favorite.
Yeah, I like that.
I really love that.
And what's your favorite?
Really love that.
What's your favorite outside painting, real quick?
Outside painting. Gosh, do I get one?
Just one. Think about it while you're getting your paint.
Oh man, now you've asked me a really complicated question. I really have to answer these a lot.
You can just think about it while you're painting.
I'm going to think about that while I'm painting, because there's a lot of paintings that I really, really love.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little. While John is messing with me, I'm going to add a little cad yellow over to my green. You may want to tint it back with some of your burnt so it's just not so garishly bright.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come along the outside edge of my leaf with this. It's going to be kind of a dry brush. This isn't a wet brush. And then just offset from the inside of the leaf.
There's some good shirt ideas coming in here.
Oh, I can't wait to see what the shirts are. Because whoever would win it would get a shirt.
I think we're going to be giving away a lot of shirts, for sure.
Probably. I don't even know why we have a shirt store, because we're going to be giving away shirts.
I want an internet shirt gun.
Oh my gosh.
Or I could just fire them into the crowd of the internet. And
I
give
think
them
shirt guns are the most fun. I just want a shirt. All of this is just an excuse so we can have a shirt gun. Just don't even... I'm going to grab a little yellow ochre here and pull that into my green. And I'm going to leave this deep kind of center space. And you can always come back and redefine it if you lose it. Anything you ever lose in your painting, you can come back and redefine. So like I've got that here, and maybe I want like a little more of this darkness. I can come back with the green and the burnt and come right in here. See?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard to put back. If it gets away from you, just put it back. Just put it back. You're in control here. Whatever else is happening in life, health or life or kids or family or job, this place, you're in charge. You got this. I'm going to add this next kind of yellow ochre green. I'm going to come here and actually just sort of lighten this tip a little bit of this leaf. Imagine how flat. These leaves are so flat and broad and strong. Really, orchids' leaves are really beautiful. And I'm going to add another bit of yellow ochre and green. Internet shirt cannon. No wonder we get... Oh my gosh. It's like we can't stop having fun. That's really essentially our issue, is that we can't stop having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to take a little of my yellow ochre.
Oh,
Honor. Besaurus. Do you want Besaurus? I don't want Besaurus.
Honor really likes your giant fighting horses poster or painting.
Oh, thank you very much. Honor?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Honor. Yeah, oh, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun to do. Like, it didn't actually get into the big show at Lawndale. We got through to the final jurying process, and I really had wanted to get in because the juror for that, I was like...
That was
really excited about.
She had really nice things to say to you, though.
Yeah, she really liked it. It just didn't... What happens a lot of times, they'll come tell you after, is like, your piece was great, but it didn't fit to the idea they had for that show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times jurors will come in... New artists sometimes don't know this. Jurors will come in with an idea like, this show is going to be about urban life, and if you painted some...
Giant horses?
Yeah, they're going to be like...
Urban life, giant horses don't work.
They just know. But they're like, that's the best painting ever. And they'll oftentimes come tell you, like, I love it and keep doing it. I think it's really relevant and really brave, which is like, really all you wanted was acknowledgement anyways. So it works for me.
So, and hugs to you, Honor. I hope you're feeling well, doing well.
Yeah. So have you guys noticed I came in the middle and I'm starting to create this little leaf edge saying that this is sort of foldy.
Oh.
I'm doing the foldy highlights. All right, I'm going to come here and I'm going to highlight this edge, but only a little bit because this is going to be deep and dark. This is a folded one. They're folded, so that's going to be quite... See how that just instantly does it? It's like a magic trick.
Yeah.
Just like a magic trick. Magic, magic. I'm Robin now from Teen Titans, and all the moms went, ah! But you know what I mean. Magic. It's been a weird reboot with Teen Titans.
It's weird.
I like it, but it's weird.
When I was a kid, cartoon characters fought bad guys. Or but
they
Teen
had
Titans
nemesis. Not as much, man. They barely leave the tower.
They're just sort of like, they're just chilling on the sofa half the episode.
Sometimes fight bad guys. All right.
Sometimes.
I might add a little sliver of a light leaf here, and I've got that. So this is the basis of the leaves. Guess what? I'm going to go in and do some more leaf.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to wipe my brush, though. I'm not going to rinse. Watch that. Oh. Question I get. What do I do with my towels? I wonder how many of you wonder that. What do I do with my paint towels? I'm mixing just some green over into my yellow, and I add a little white to it. what you do with your paint towels, even though you didn't know you were asking that, I'm taking this nice soft mixture and just dry brushing this leaf right here, is you rinse them and you keep them in your art room and you don't use them for food anymore. They're not food or people towels anymore once they're paint towels. But they're perfectly fine to go through your washing machine. It's okay. I'm just dusting that. And I'm going to come and just kind of add some.
I can see the ladybug on the top of your hat.
Can you?
Yeah, when you...
That's so funny. Ladybug. I'm just dusting this in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Adding this highlight on the sleeve, saying, oh, some light's hitting it. Coming on this edge here, just doing a crosshatch right there. I'm going to let it be dark green coming in. And then here, I'm going to come in with that weird mix. Vary it up, vary it up, vary it up. And I'm going to work just the tip of the petal here. This is, again, dry brushed. Dry brushed. And then if you can, grab some just yellow and come and just put a little here. Maybe a little bit there. Dance it. So sometimes you'll see me do this thing. I'm going to try to do another one. This is something you'll see artists with a lot of experience sometimes too, is we get a little whimsical with our paint. Where we're not trying to, you know, where we're almost like calligraphy, like a writing. Something that happens. I don't know if you find that interesting, but I share that with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little brown and a little white. I'm going to come and put a slight highlight on this leaf, but it's a little less than what's on top of it. All right, now I'm going to come work this one. A little more brown into the green and some white. I'm going to come and just pick this highlight, a little more yellow, white. I'm trying to pick up a real highlight right here. And I'm just going to pull this down. See, I'm just pulling this down.
Mm-hmm.
And scrubble, scrubble, scrubble. Scrubble, scrubble. So sometimes when you just work this nice little edge here with this bright pop of color, and then you just get very lyrical and expressive with what's happening. But I'm leaving this dark, and that implies that stuff is happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
It's
not real. It's real in my spirit.
It's implied.
It's implied in my soul. I'm telling you all about how I felt about this orchid that day that they plopped down on my weird tinky little table. just okay by and was like, phew.
Where are you going?
They just went just like you get orchid. That's art. There's your culture. Your orchid. And it's all just dancing there, being beautiful. In the wind. People are walking by. It's just such an interesting world. You sit in your little booth, looking at the people walking by, and come and talk to you. Interesting little life.
Interesting.
It is. Now I'm going to take a little more of this white. See, I'm just loading them. Look how my brush is just constantly loaded at the tip, and it's not past this point of the bristles. And then I'm going to just dust this down here. Dust this down here. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I think that's fun. I'm going to rinse off.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going to rinse off. I'm going to start this pot, which is an involved little process.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do on it? So
many things, which is why this is many more hoots. But you guys have been asking for a more complicated, more involved painting.
A more hooty hoot.
A more hooty hoot painting.
And it just means we got to talk longer.
We just got to talk longer. That's all it is. We're just here for a little bit more. I'm going to take a little of my blue over to my burnt sienna. I'm just going to dust it because I want it still to be a little bit brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to add a little white to it. And I'm going to come here, maybe a little more.
Oh.
And I am just starting to, and look, just like along this lip with this, very, very light. I'm letting a lot of the paint underneath still show. I'm not taking it all out. I'm leaving just this brown here. Come underneath here. I'm going to leave a little dark space that lets me know where that lip line is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start brushing this back because there's so many layers that I've got to do. Because again, I wasn't like, hey, I'm going to teach a class. When I painted this, I was like, I'm going to amuse myself.
So Zoe says, used to be retail, got tired of people, live on an island now. Waka, waka, waka.
Waka, waka, waka. I go move. Where are you living? Let's go live next door to Zoe. I'm going to pull some straight blue. This is kind of maybe a surprise to you, but I'm going to maybe tint it back with some black.
I have more than one friend who has chosen to go live on an island.
Yeah, you really do.
Or some weird rural place.
And I kind of get it. When we were on our travels, we were looking at all those places we were driving by to live. We're like, can we live here? All right, so I'm going to pull this dark blue and black over.
Mm-hmm.
Over from the left to the right on the flat of my brush, pressing in and lifting up, pressing in and lifting up.
So Patrick's like, I could give you a monitor so you could see everyone's comments. No. Go back and look at like the second and third episode that we did live. And there's long segments of Cinnamon reading comments. And it's just because it's so much fun. You guys have so much wonderful things to say.
Oh, yeah, it was completely engaging. I was like, I wanted to be in the chat.
So it's I forget, you're supposed to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I know I'm supposed to keep saying that, and I forget to. That's supposed to be like the one job that I remember to do, but I don't.
Now, one of the things I want to talk about, and this is for Angela Green and some people in our group.
Uh-huh.
So some things I want to point out. So I'm at an art table, since we're just, actually doing this. So I'm at an art table.
Yeah.
And I've got an orchid, and I want to paint it. And I've got some paint and a square canvas and an easel that will do that.
Yeah.
When I decided how to place this, because you guys are always asking me this, how do I make that decision?
Mm-hmm.
I pick elements out that really emotionally speak to me, and then I start spatially thinking about where it is. Now, you can do the little viewfinder with your hands or whatever, but to be sure, something I did is I made some of this flower go off the canvas, and I put it in a third, right? Mm-hmm. Then I put an arabesque line coming up, right, which causes the eye to wander and be delighted. It's just a thing that you can do. There's a couple arabesque bits, and I even do some of that here. And this will, by the time we're done, create a viewing circle.
You said arabesque.
Mm-hmm. I said arabesque. You're like, you said arabesque. It's like, around here, it's like I said a fun word. Now I'm going to do an interesting thing.
Okay.
You ready for my interesting thing?
I am.
I'm going to make a crisscross mark like that this pot was decorative. So I'm going to come up like an inch.
Okay.
And I'm just going to freehand a diagonal line down. Chalk this in if this is going to stress you guys out. All right? If doing these diagonal lines are going to stress you out, they just need to be about the same width and parallel to each other as they go across the pot.
Oh, just to imply the...
We're just implying that there's this decorative element to this pot.
Cool.
Right? And then I'm going to... That one's got a little off my diagonal. And I'm going to come back across here. Similar thing. And I'm going to come here. Same width. And that's how I get the little diamond pattern in the pot. I'm not that mental about it. And I'm going to take this blue and this black, blue and the black, and I'm going to come under my lip here, and I'm going to define this a little bit more. This shadow. I'm even being more playful with this pot today.
Yeah.
Because you can. Look, you can. Take your blue, while you've got your blue on here, and come just maybe 1/8 of an inch below the lip of the other side, and just put this all blue right here. And just deepen this dirt. Loamy, loamy, loamy soil. Put that shadow under this plant. Put that shadow under this plant. I will often use a blue with a little black instead of a black to create a shadow. Rinse your brush. Now, do an interesting thing. I'm going to get a little of my burnt sienna and my white, and it's going to create this. It's interesting. It's not really a pink, but has that element to it. And I'm going to come here, pulling that down. So I go along this edge here, and I pull down, pull down, pull down. I'm just creating this feeling of a pot. Of a dusty terracotta little pot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to come in here and around my diamonds, I'm going to start painting in this little dust of the terracotta pot. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it is cool.
Super fun stuff. If you're working a craft fair, it is a good idea to paint while you're there. You're wondering why I was doing that. Here's a pro tip for you. Paint while you're doing it. Not like, you know, at a serious art show like the Javits. Right? But if you're at a local craft festival and they've got you sat down at a little table and you're just trying to figure out what to do with your time and trying not to look, what you don't want to do is look like, you know, you're just sitting and waiting. Look busy, look like an artist. Which you are. It's just a good thing that you can do.
Could you lean your head just to the right there for a second? Oh, perfect. The lemons were blocking the crisscrossiness.
I appreciate that. I wonder if I have to let go of these hats.
No, it's just sometimes we like the hats.
All right.
It's just sometimes.
I'm going to go in the center of these dots
You're
and
good.
create like a little, see this right here?
Huh?
Just a couple of these light dusts of black and brown. You can come here and even maybe add a little dust of that. Having some fun. Having some fun. And just brush out. Now get some just burnt sienna. And just come and add some just burnt sienna. Just really loosely, very expressively. This isn't perfectionism. A lot of how this was done, it was also during a daily painting. Because I was committed to this daily painting while the show was going on, so I still had to do the daily painting. Other reason why you make a decision to paint a little lonely pot of plants. And I'm just dusting a little of this brown here. And see how it's just becoming its pot.
Yeah.
And then just very light, lots of white. And come along the edge here. Maybe along the top edge here. Pull a little bit down of this very bright highlight. Just a little bit. Just dust, dust, dust. Dust, dust, dust. I'm going to get a little of this white on the edge of my brush here. And I'm going to just, I don't want it to be pure white, I want it to be a little off-white. I'm just going to add that little highlight. Isn't that fun? There you go. Funness. Fun, fun. Guess what? The number one thing I'm always asked, people will get a painting to somewhere in this space and they'll go, something's wrong. It's bothering me. You guys ask me that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong? Most of you have forgotten to weigh the object down with a shadow. This really, so many of you are like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know how I'm going to get it right. And it's a shadow.
Ah.
So I know my light source has to be coming from here, from the way I've shadowed everything, which means the shadow has to travel up this way. Also, I knew that because the sun was here and it made that shadow. But if I never saw where this was in space, I would be able to extrapolate that information.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to take a little of my blue and my black. And I'm going to come along our little pot here. Right underneath it. And I'm going to make a thin little, very deep shadow under it.
We're just off the screen there. Oh, perfect. I can see now.
Okay.
That's excellent.
And then I'm going to come up a little bit with this. And we're going to just come here, wandering up, and then at the line, very light dusting of paint, because it's very dry brushing. You know, I'm not painting anything that's actually here. I'm painting a shadow. Pulling that out. See, I just let the dry brush.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's an important thing, because I'm going to be doing some twigs above.
Okay.
Is that the twig has cast a shadow. And I want to make sure that my shadow under my plant has one. I'm going to add a little white to this deep dark mixture. And I'm going to make sure I give my shadow some reflective light tonality. In other words, shadows are never just one color.
Mm-hmm.
Often there is a shadow in a shadow.
Oh, that's true.
So that is what one of the things that you have to do as a painter is you're always looking for the shadow inside the shadow.
Interesting.
Whether it's expressionistic, whether it's impressionistic, whether it's realistic, do look for the light source. Light source is always key.
Interesting.
Time to be judged by the diet demon.
Oh no, your Balrog.
We're almost done.
Almost? Really?
Mm-hmm.
How close?
Dripping on my microphone. Is it still there?
It's still there.
Drippy, drippy. That's scary.
Sippy, sippy, drippy, drippy.
Sippy, sippy, drippy, drippy, drippy. Real close.
Okay.
Real close. I'm going to get a number 2 bright. It's tiny, and it will give me control over my little lines. I'm going to take my little brown over to my little black. Thin it out a little bit so it's willing to flow off the brush, making sure it's not loaded way too high up on the brush so it's back on the tip.
Yeah.
And I'm going to now, I can still see a little of my line behind the paint, so I'm going to wander up and follow that. But basically, it wanders up, makes the arabesque.
Oh, there's
and
an
is
awesome word
going
again.
to come, as I'm getting closer to the plants, the line is thinner. The line is thinner. This one has a little more brown in the mixture, but that's okay. Right, little bit of weight into that, and I'm going to say from the ground here, comes up and it goes, it bumps down, and it bumps up.
Yeah.
You know, at the time I was just following what this plant did.
Oh yeah.
It's just painting what was there. But actually, it's fun.
Yeah.
See how that just goes off, and that gives us a feeling. We do a little dash there. I'm just saying that, you know, orchids have these weird little kind of air roots that are happening.
Oh, yeah, they do. They have those little...
And there's one that comes up here. It's a little air root. See, and now that and that weights the piece, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's good.
That is
cool. We want that. That's good. And we want that. So now I've popped a stem here. I'm going to apply a stem coming off here. And I'm going to apply a little stem coming down to join here. Okay. I'm going to get a little of my bright green. It's kind of crazy, but these were art decisions that I made at the time. I'm going to add a little of that to the stem. Not everywhere, just a couple places. Don't want it to disappear into the leaf. There we go.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool, isn't it? Little touches are a big, big deal. Remember when I was talking about that little touch of optional CAD?
Yeah.
Here's
your
where
little bit of CAD right there.
I'm pulling a little bit out.
Where's it going to go?
It's going to be just right under here, under this leaf, in the soil.
Really?
Just a touch of it. You don't have to have it. Your painting's already nice. It's just something I will always do.
Why is that?
Because this becomes design and color theory. I now start to tell an emotional story, not a factual story.
Interesting.
And I know that the red and green are contrasts, and even though that this is kind of a boring space, with the red it becomes very exciting in my narrative. It becomes in some ways as interesting as the flowers.
It's true. It does.
It does. It's just a weird deal. So I'm going to take my white. It's a little bit dirtied by the gray that's around it, and that's actually really what I want.
Okay.
I don't want pure white. And I'm going to paint just inside these dark lines that I made.
Okay.
Not paint them out. They're going to remain there. And I'm going to just lightly dust this white on here, but it's off-white. I'm coming around. I'm just leaving that little outline of the dark space.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun
that's cool.
stuff. Right, and come up here to the other part of the butterfly. I'm leaving this in the center because I've got some design work to do in here I'm going to talk about later. Right now I'm just making sure that I've started to tell the story that these are white orchids. What color orchids are they? Any color you want. In this particular sense, they were white orchids.
Any color you want, as long as they're white.
You guys can always make this any color you want. I wonder if your mom's noticed her painting's missing.
Maybe we'll get it back before she knows it's gone.
It's a good thing I'm so prolific. She's so excited about Maleficent.
Oh, she is. She was asking.
She never catches a post of mine, but she caught that one.
She was like, when is Maleficent going to be done? I want to come over and paint with you guys.
She might.
I should go set her up over here next to me and she can paint.
Oh, that would be sweet. Son mother time. I added a little yellow ochre to this one, and I'm coming underneath here. And it's just so that the white feels like it exists in a different space.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want it to be high yellow. I just want it to be slightly off-white. It's very, like Home Depot has 55 million shades of off-white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Kim Sims says, hide your brushes tomorrow.
Actually, there has been some threats made. There has been some retaliation promised. But she knows not to start. Actually, no. My mom is super in charge. I don't got no control over that at all.
And I think we've been hooking her up with spares.
Yeah, we actually do.
She got a nice little haul
we
last time.
We actually do. All right. This one here at the top.
A brush decoy. That's a good idea.
Well, she loves her ruby satin silvers, and I actually went to Texas Art Supply and bought a ruby satin.
Yeah.
Which are really great brushes. They're just pricey.
Yeah.
So I recommend them if they're in your budget completely.
And if not, just keep on.
Just keep doing your thing. We're going to keep doing those little Facebook adventures where I go tell you brushes I like at certain locations.
Mm-hmm. And we have some new experimental brushes we're working with soon.
Yes, experimental brushes.
Jeff and Dave over the Brush Guys hooked us up with some stuff to try out.
He really did.
In another serene environment.
In another serene environment where I kidnap brushes that were brought. It's clearly a mother-daughter trait.
Yes.
So you see how those have started to pick up and become
do.
lighter and brighter in their space?
Yeah.
All right. So something I'm going to want to do now is I'm going to want to take a little of my white and a little of my quinacridone. I have way more quinacridone out than I need. I'm just noticing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I put things out with the idea for you guys to see them. And I'm going to come here in the center of this. Very light pressure. I'm going to dust up this quinacridone. And I'm going to come here and dust this out. And dust this out. And then I'm going to dust this out. And dust this out. And you know this is going to go right into the playlist for flowers.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a flower playlist. I have playlists for everything because now I have like 200 videos. And you need a playlist to know what the heck I painted.
I need a playlist to know what we've done.
Yeah. So that exists out there for you. I'm going to come here with this. Just dusting this out, this pink.
At some level, you got to wonder how like Lindsay can keep up.
I don't. Yeah, she has a file.
Have
you seen, dude, she's so on it. You should look up to Lindsay. I do.
I'm sure that she has like...
No, I don't mean you. You're fine. I mean me, like other crafters. You're okay, babe.
Well, I do. She like super organized.
She really is.
She knows like about her videos. Like,
yeah,
it's
and has
awesome.
been on YouTube making a community before all of us got here.
Yeah.
Just seriously, like, let's own that, right? So there will never be a time that I don't have appreciation or gratitude for that.
So that's just quinacridone to make that pink?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just quinacridone and white.
That just popped right out there.
And then I'm going to get a little yellow and a little white on my brush. And I'm going to come in the center right here.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to dust this in. I'm going to talk about this like right here a little bit. I'm going to say, oh, there should be some right here. And I think that it's also okay while you're at this to, while your brush has some yellow in it, pull some white, but it's got a little of this yellow in it, this cad yellow. And come and add some of this white with a slight tint of yellow.
Oh.
But don't take out all your grayed out. Because that's sometimes what makes things look really white is the darker color underneath. It's really kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this light reflecting on the orchids. And they were sort of lit from behind.
Yeah.
And I really liked that. And so that got through this painting. And we still have a touch of that to do down here, the light.
Okay.
How we paint the light. Paint the light and be the light and think about the light. I'm loving it.
Oh.
It's pretty now.
Colleen just joined us.
Hi, Colleen.
She wanted to try to catch the live, but the notification system was delaying. Sorry, Colleen. That's just one of those things.
I tried it. I tweeted and Facebooked. I think on the new website it will actually send out another notification.
Oh, well, so this is nice. One of the mods helped get this over to me. I'm gonna Charlena.
Hi, Charlena.
She says, I just wanted to say that I've gotten a lot of friends. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to say that I've gotten a lot of friends. So while I've been on my own, I've been watching your videos, and I must say how amazing it is.
Thank you.
How you might not know.
I know it's incredible when you guys share your stories.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. We know that, it's just lovely to have you guys here with us. There's, we've had 300 people with us all day today, just kind of hanging out.
I mean, we did the thing where we did videos by ourselves in the room.
Yeah, that was.
It's weird,
boring,
and I mean, seriously, where my daughter's like, "Who's Mom talking to?" I knew you guys would be there eventually, but I was talking to myself for a while. It was an on time. I'm gonna take some just white. And I'm going to make a little dab and bring some down.
I far prefer to edit these.
Maybe a little bit here and a little bit there. But mostly just right here. Kind of like a little stamen. I'm going to take some just Quinn. I'm going to bring some just straight up here. Maybe give a kiss there, here. Here's one. Right. And I'm going to come with just this little dash of this red here.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit. And I'm just going to dab in the center of these fabulous little orchids.
Ooh, that really makes that pop.
And that is cool, right?
That's just like, pow.
I don't know why. It just is. I just love it.
Like you just like lightning struck on the canvas. It's cool.
It is fun for me. Now I can come back if I want to with a little of my blue and black.
Yep.
And my white. Which is like my dark gray color. And I can even kind of come in and define if I feel like that will help. Look at that.
Oh, that is cool. I'm going to zoom in on that some more because you're like really flowering that up.
It just does. It's this weird thing. So when you're just, you're just trying to look like, you're never trying to look like you're selling art at a craft fair. You always try to look like you're accidentally here. It's just a weird thing.
It's really
now you'll look for it and you'll see what I mean. You're wanting to look like you're accidentally at the fair. Just you wandered in with all your stuff and set it up, but didn't know anything was going on.
Right.
You were just painting here anyways.
So those are really
in
cool.
This random street.
You just put just a couple little brush strokes on there with the blue, and that really popped that out.
It does.
That looks really cool.
It does.
All right.
It does.
All right. So now I'm done. Just
couple pops of white.
Oh yeah.
Couple pops of white.
Where are you gonna put those at?
On the leaves, a couple places, pure white.
Oh yeah.
Not everywhere. Not everywhere. Like to this right side, pop.
Zoe likes that. Accidentally too
on
cool.
Just
to be
this
here.
forward-facing one. We'll pop there. Just on this forward-facing one. Can we all see that?
Yeah.
Just
Zoe.
a little bit. See, it's just... And then these petals coming out, I feel like maybe they could use a pop, so I'm going to go, no, and also this one. See, you can't stop it, pause me, and rewind, because you might miss important information. So rude.
So Grandma wants you to say hi to her. You have to say hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma. I don't know who it's, but Grandma wants to know if she can say hi. And
yes.
So I that's all I have. Is
it Grandma Jean?
No, It says I think that this is just there is a grandma who is with us. I'm not sure It has scrolled past too fast. We have like this wall of text that's gone by, and everyone keeps saying, "John, say hi to Grandma." So
what could be? It could be my mom.
It could be Mona's grandma.
Mona's grandma. Oh my gosh!
It's someone's grandma out here.
Grandma Mona. Woo! You did such a good job. We love her. She's such a light in the world.
Yeah.
Seriously, she is a bright light shining in the world. Thank you. Good job.
Oh, she didn't think it was live. She wasn't sure.
Now she knows.
Yeah, now you know it's live for sure.
I have taken a little bit of my yellow to my white, and I've dusted it on a brush. No water, so it can be very dry brushed. And I'm going to come here. I need it even wider than this.
You know what's great is seeing the panic in people as like, because there's about a 30-second delay. So
when they realize it's live?
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, John, no, you're doing it all wrong." We eventually get it okay.
I am just adding a little bit of this yellow, scrumbling even. This is called scrumbling, where you kind of do this along this space.
Oh, yeah.
And this is implying the light and time of day I was in. That's how I was talking about what time of day this was painted in. I bet you all have some information now about what was important going on.
Yeah.
You know, artistically, because you can see it now.
Her nickname is Grandmaps.
Is what?
Grandmaps?
Grandmaps? Hi, Grandmaps.
Grandmaps. Grandmaps, I think. Unless I'm misspelling that the same way I misspelled Joe, which was Joella. Or Joa.
Joa. You're a hoot.
I messed them all up.
All right. And as a last touch, I'm going to take a little of my yellow ochre, very light, and I'm going to make sure that there's some dusted in this table here, also dry brushed, just to finish that space off like I knew what I was doing, like I knew how to paint.
Oh, it's not Mona's grandma.
Oh. Well,
there was a...
guess what? We did it.
Oh.
We did it. We did it. We painted a painting. Gonna drink from my diet demon today. All day. You're going to be seeing him for a while. Because I don't think I'm going to get my cookies back.
You're the cookies back. That's great. But you're doing healthy stuff. You're making good, healthy choices.
And I am, here's what I'm doing. I am being more active.
Yeah.
I am making food choices based on better information, I guess. And I'm looking for food that I like just as much, which is maybe good for me. I haven't found a lot yet, but if I find anything interesting, I'll definitely share it with you if I find stuff that delights me in the way that, you know, chips and cake do. Yeah. But I think I am. I'm kind of like, there's a couple resources I'm looking into, so I'm kind of optimistic. And I love all the stuff you guys have been sharing. I look at all of it, and we're going to see you tomorrow at 2:30.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? I think we're going to come back on an after show for the top 10 questions. I forgot to say that, though, didn't I? So I don't. Are we?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll go live in about 10, 15 minutes again with some Q&A questions just to be fun.
I don't think that gives our moderators time to collect the Q&A questions. You have to ask them, do they have some Q&A? Did we miss some questions? Here's what it is.
Yes, I know. I've got some questions that I captured for sure.
Oh, okay. So we're going to come back and answer 10 questions that we had from the show that we didn't quite get to answering, like on technique and how we did this, or style, or composition, or development, or professional business, whatever you want to ask.
Oh, they're very happy about that.
That spiked for you during this, and then that goes up after, and then we just iCard that in to the lesson.
Yes.
So it's there for you later.
Yeah.
And maybe helpful to somebody else who painted this, which I'm supposed to talk about at the beginning, but it's new, so I didn't.
We just forgot.
Don't let me forget again. There's supposed to be top 10 questions.
Don't remember.
Love you guys. I'll see you in a few minutes.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Come join us live Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 11 a.m. Central, or enjoy one of the hundreds of paintings available on replay anytime